You are listening to Random Gameplay Pimpin'.
What is going down? What is going down? It is your boy, Studio MacGyver, and you are listening to Random Gameplay Pimpin'. What is going down, guys? Welcome to the podcast. If you're new to the show, welcome to the show, guys. If you're into anime, nerd culture, and most importantly, video games, then you come to the right place because we talk about all of that shit here. This is episode 301. I got a few things I want to discuss with you guys. We had a pretty decent week. We had a Nintendo Direct, a big Nintendo Direct. There's a lot of Nintendo fans out here that are extremely happy, excited, and they did a few things. I will definitely admit that, and I'm going to break that down. Also, I'm going to talk about something that I didn't really get a chance to think about until recently. And somebody, I can't remember who it was, we were having a conversation, and it kind of shed some light on the three tiers or the three companies, Sony, Nintendo, and Xbox, and what their subscription services are. And he made a nice little comparison. I want to talk about that a little bit. And there are some merits to Nintendo now, even though I recently just canceled my service because I wasn't using it and, it was doing me no good. But maybe in the future, it might be wise to go back and reactivate that thing. And I'm going to get into all that in Two Shakes of a Lamb's Tail. Also, the talk around these video game streets, guys, if you've been hiding under a rock, has been the new Hogwarts Legacy game. I bought the game. I've been playing the game. I'm going to talk about the game, how dope it is. Should you buy it if you haven't played it yet? All of these things, guys. And keep in mind, this is coming from someone who has nothing or to do, or I know nothing about this franchise. I've never seen a movie. I've never read a book, none of this stuff. Okay. Going to get into all of that on this episode. Let's go. All right. Let's start. And where do I want to start, man? A little bit of some news, something I heard literally right before I got on here and hit this record button. And it's about the Fable game, the new Fable game. I read something about someone saying that the Fable game is in a playable state. So it's really towards the end of its production cycle. And I can't remember the guy's name. Like I said, I glanced over it on Twitter, but apparently it's close to being done. And they are getting ready to put together some playable packages for some media, some investors and things of that sort. So people can kind of get a feel for what it's going to do, how it's going to play. That's some good news if you're a Microsoft fan, if you're looking forward to this game. And I was a guy back in the day who loved the Fable games. And I've been waiting on Fable, man, and seeing what they're going to do with this next iteration in the game. It's been cooking a long time. And I hope that 2023 is going to bring some new IPs when we're talking about the Xbox brand, because like I said, I love all systems. I love all games. I am a Sony guy. That's my favorite. But I support all of them. And I want to see everybody do well, man, because if one person is doing well, then the other person has the incentive to do better. And it just keeps all of us as consumers in the win. We all win if competition is healthy and strong. That's my opinion on it. And I want to just see it keep going. And recently I've been playing a lot of Xbox because of the Game Pass and because of Monster Hunter Rise. I mean, like I said, I put like 70 hours. I didn't even realize it. When I told you guys last week, I think it was what I had like around 30 hours or something like that on the game. It was almost double that. Time flew by so quick with that game. It's crazy. But yeah, 70 hours right now on that game. So, and I learned a whole lot more playing this one with friends because one of my best friends, Dig, is an avid a Monster Hunter fan. He loves this game. He's like 10 toes down in this game. And, I learned a lot of things from his discoveries that I didn't even know playing on the Nintendo Switch when I played my version. And I had like 90 hours in that game. So when it comes to Monster Hunter, just be ready to have a steep learning curve. There's a lot of things to learn in Monster Hunter. There's a lot of things to discover. I think that's why a lot of people love it as well. Just when you think you got the game handled and you know how to do everything, you get thrown a curveball and you just figure out, man, you didn't know shit. At least that's coming from my perspective and things that I've done. I didn't even know there was a such thing as a rampage weapon. And I just found that out this playthrough. And now I'm farming for that. And so, yeah, it's a lot, man. I mean, it's a dope game. Like I said, if you haven't played Monster Hunter Rise and you have an Xbox, or not, if you just want to play it, it's available on all platforms now, pretty much. You can't lose. You can find it anywhere. So yeah, of course, if you play on the Nintendo Switch, you get the latest and the greatest, which is the Sunbreak, and that's what everybody else is waiting for on the other consoles. But also, somebody like me who's played it on the Switch and who's went to the Xbox with the 60 frames and the updated graphics and things of that nature, it might hurt a little bit or sting a little bit to go back to the Nintendo Switch version. And it doesn't make sense for me to do that personally, because everybody who's playing now that I've been playing with, we can talk and chat in the parties, and then it's cool on the Xbox. So that's where I'll stay with Monster Hunter moving forward. Will I ever go back to the Switch and my old character, pull him up? Yeah, I could see myself doing that. But as far as playing Sunbreak, no, I don't see myself doing that or buying Sunbreak for the Switch. Maybe one day, maybe at a discounted price or, something like that. And I feel the need to play it portable, maybe, but I highly doubt that. But that's here nor there. Anyway, got a good show. Got a pretty beefy show, especially on the Nintendo side, since we're talking about Nintendo. There's a lot that they did, and I'm going to dive into that, man. I just can't wait to talk about some of that. But I first want to talk about the comparisons that Nintendo, Sony, and Microsoft have on their subscription services. Some, to me personally, are looking better in the long run. And it depends on where you're at in your gaming life and what you've been doing. And you'll understand when I finish with this. But basically what's been happening, or what I've been observing, is all of the different subscription services. Now, I personally have Game Pass, and I have Sony's equivalent to that, which is, I want to say it's the Plus package. I don't know the terms. There's so many different terms for it, man. But all I know is I pay $14.99 for the package I have on both of them, Sony and Microsoft. And the only thing excluding the package that I have on Sony's platform is the fact that I don't get the retro games. I don't get the older games, the PlayStation 1s and those type of titles. Okay. PlayStation 2, etc. And that's because they haven't really been giving us a lot of those, or at least the ones that matter to me personally. So I haven't really been, felt the need to pay that extra $3 or whatever it is for that. So I just left that out, and I'm good, where I'm at right now. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, if you're a fresh gamer and you're going in this and you're just trying to find a new system and you're trying to decide which one would be best for me, if you're looking at it like that, then this is how I'm trying to explain it. As somebody fresh going in, you don't know which one to pick, and you're trying to decide and make that decision. Now, if I was somebody who didn't have any systems and I was just trying to start fresh, which one I would pick right now as of today, a lot of factors go into this, because Sony has a great and awesome library of games. And this is and I'm speaking from somebody who, if you've never played anything from Sony side, if you just want to get into games, I mean, you could argue that that's a good enough reason right there just to go the Sony route. But also Nintendo has their things and their IPs as well. They're known out here. It's just everybody has a plausible reason to go their direction. Xbox Game Pass, I think, has the best overall third party selection, to choose from right now. And they have a lot of things coming up that is definitely worthy of what they have to offer. So it's just, there's really no wrong answer in my humble opinion. But if you had a gun to your head and you can only pick one, then it's going to depend on what you want to do. And I'm talking about just subscription service. So if we're basing this off of just subscription services, guys, something you pay every month, and what do you get in return for that? Then this is what I'm going to go ahead and this is the angle I'm coming at. Okay. The Game Pass is lovely for the simple fact that you get all the stiff stuff I just mentioned before. Okay. But the downside to the Xbox thing for me would be that they're kind of like Netflix, literally, in how they distribute their games. And what I mean by that is you can't get used to a certain title on there unless they're first party games. If it's an Xbox first party game, then usually those games stay there. They don't go anywhere. But, Xbox is big on their third party games with the Game Pass. And if you're looking at it from that angle, you might want to pump your brakes a little bit, because they are always changing those games. So, 3 months later, the game you thought would be there will not be there. It will be taken off and something else will be added, and so on and so forth. So you can't get used to a certain title or a game, especially if it's third party, because it probably won't be there after a certain amount of time. So it's a constant cycle of doing that. So now they have stated that if you download a game on your system and then the game is no longer there, you're grandfathered in, so you don't have to worry about, this game's going to be wiped from my system, because you know what I mean. But as long as you have it downloaded. But if you don't have it downloaded, then yeah, it's going to be gone. So that's a cool thing. You can find some of your favorites and say, okay, I want to download this. But the backside of that is you only have so much space. So do you want to find all these games, and you may never get to these games, and you may not play these games for months, and you're taking up valuable space. And if you're trying to play other games, you're going to have to delete something to make room, unless you just have a super gigantic SSD or memory sitting around, external memory sitting around somewhere like that. So most of us don't, but hey, it is what it is. That's the Achilles heel of the Xbox and what they are doing. Now let's move on to Sony. And the thing about Sony is Sony has made a recent announcement where if you were subscribed to the service, you got an extra bonus of about 19 or so games, classic games, greatest hits titles, and you got to have access to those just for being subscribed to their service. But in May, that's all coming to an end. They're going to remove those games. So that's one nail in the coffin with Sony as far as what they're doing. Also, if you're just getting into gaming and you're just getting yourself a PlayStation 5, then the problem with that is you are not going to be awarded all the games from the past. So every month, Sony devs out 2 to 4 games for their subscription service. Okay. Every first Tuesday of the month. And for somebody who's coming into the Sony brand, you would think, oh, okay, well, I'm going to get all those games that, that came with or that were offered for having a Sony subscription. No, you don't. You only start from the day you subscribe to their service. So if you subscribe tomorrow, you'll get access to the games that are available for you this month. Okay, I think one of them is Mafia Remastered, which I have downloaded and haven't had a chance to play yet, but I am going to be playing that. But you see where I'm going here? All the games past you will not have access to. So the last month's games or the month before that, you won't have access to those titles. Okay, it's only moving forward. Whatever games they plan to offer from moving forward is what you will get, is if that makes any sense. So if you're with a Sony subscription and you're saying, okay, well, every month I'm going to just claim these games, then you have access to all those games. All you have to do is claim them. You don't have to download them to your hard drive or anything like that. All you got to do is go into the store and say, okay, I want to claim this and put this on my list, and it will forever be on your list. So whenever you feel you want to download it, you can, and you don't have to worry about playing it if you don't have time this month or next month. And it could be 6 months before you get to a game that you claimed, and it will always be there for you. Okay, as long as you remember to claim your games every month. Okay, so that's the deal with Sony, and that's where they're at. And they still have a decent amount of games and I'm sure some of the games that they omitted from that 19 greatest hits list will be inserted or reinserted into what they're doing now with their subscription service too. But only time will tell with that. I'm sure a few games will definitely do that, but we'll see. But that's Sony right there for us. And then we're moving on to the last of the Mohicans, the Nintendo Switch, and what they're doing. Now, me personally, guys, I really had no love for their online subscription service up until this point, because let's keep it real, they didn't have a lot to offer. The only thing they were offering were a lot of, retro games, and I mean Nintendo, and nothing really more than, any more titles or any more systems. It didn't pay dividends for me. And also, it just they don't have an online community. Their online community is pretty much bare bones. They don't have party chat, and Nintendo's never gonna have. I don't think the Switch is ever gonna have party chat now. With the new system, whenever it comes out, hopefully they remedy that. But we're talking about Nintendo here, and it would not surprise me if Nintendo put out a new system and it did not have fucking native voice chat. Okay, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, and that's just how they roll, man. You know what I'm saying? Only time will tell if that's going to be possible. But right now, what we're talking about here is their subscription service currently, and it just had no appeal to me. I didn't see anything on it. And now, with the resurgence of this last Nintendo Direct, some things have started to change for the better now for the Nintendo. And I guess I can go ahead and segue into that, because we just had a Nintendo Direct recently, and it blew a lot of people's minds. Okay. And I didn't realize how many Game Boy and Game Boy Color fans there were out here in these video game streets. I didn't realize that they fucking lost their minds. They lost their cookies. They lost their shit. They were going crazy. Now, I remember getting a Game Boy and loving it for Christmas and doing backflips and running around the house. And I remember that, and it was great memories. But man, a lot of these people, they were really losing their shit, man. And hey, more power to you. If that's the nostalgia you came up in and that's how you feel about the Game Boy and Game Boy Color, man, hey, they're all games. They're all video games. I love it all. Okay. Please believe me. And this Nintendo Direct, they came with some heat. Okay. I'm not listing every game here, but I'm going to list a lot of games that piqued my interest and that I'm kind of interested in. And they also, typically of Nintendo, they had a stealth drop. That's one thing I will always say I love about these Nintendo Directs is, what are they going to stealth drop this time? And usually they're pretty dope stealth drops. Okay. So yeah, I haven't turned on my Switch in a little bit. It's been a while, but I definitely will be activating it to download some of these demos, because they dropped some demos too for us. So going to get to some of this stuff, man. One of the games that I saw that a lot of people were really loving is Professor Layton. Okay, there's a game called Professor Layton in the New World of Steam. So this one has got a lot of people excited. I don't know much about Professor Layton, but I heard that franchise is pretty popular amongst a lot of gamers. And I may need to dive in there and at least poke my head in and see what the hell all the fuss is about. But yeah, that one was announced. They're excited about that. Also, finally, we're getting Advance Wars 1 and 2 Reboot Camp. April 21st, guys. This game has been pushed back, I don't know how many times. I think at least 2 times. It was supposed to come out before Christmas, I think, and they pushed it back, and because of the war in Ukraine and all this stuff was going on. So, they didn't want to feel or be labeled insensitive to all that shit. So they pushed it back for whatever reasons. And now it's finally got a release date, April 21st. Now, I am a huge Advance Wars fan from the original from the Game Boy Advance and so on and so forth. So these games hold a special place in my heart. And finally, these are coming out and people are going to get a taste of what this is. I'm definitely picking these up. You get 2 for 1. I mean, you can't beat that. And newly updated graphics and all of that. So finally, man, this game has been I felt in development hell for so long. But now we finally get it. Thank you, video game guys. That's coming. And we got a release date for that finally. And hopefully a concrete one. Hopefully we get no more pushbacks. I think the game is done. They just have a date and they're sitting on it now. And yeah, that's good. That's always a good thing. But anyway, let's move on down the list, guys, shall we? And let's go with Octopath Traveler 2. Yes, they definitely announced something beautiful, and I'm talking about a demo. So if you guys are under a rock, you've been hiding, hey, go check out the demo for Octopath Traveler 2. It's available now. I'll be doing that as well. It's just so many great things they've been doing. They've been throwing at us. Next game, Tales of Symphonia. Okay, remastered February 17th, this fucking month, man, and a week away. Okay, it's dropping. So that's another good one. I don't know how much that one's going to cost. I need to look and go to the eShop and see. Didn't get a chance to do that, but hopefully it's a decent price. But Nintendo has been synonymous. We all know this. They overprice their games. They've been doing that, and there's a lot of stuff going on now as well with the announcement of the new Zelda game that's coming out, Tears of the Kingdom, and how that game is going to be $70. Okay, they've never had a $70 game, and now all of a sudden they want to start charging $70 for their games. They said they're going to start doing it for a lot of these other games. They're going to be charging $70 for it, and like I said, guys, Nintendo just does what the fuck they want to do when they want to do it. They don't give a fuck if you like it or hate it. They're going to do it. They're not going to change their minds, and that's just what it is. You're going to either accept it or not. And most people, when we're talking about Nintendo, are going to fucking accept it. If it's a game you're going to play, and keep in mind, they know what they're doing, okay? They know what they're doing, and they know that people are going to buy this Zelda game. People have been waiting for this game for 5 or 6 years, okay? The first Zelda game came out when the system first dropped, okay? When the Switch first came out. So they're going to buy this game. I'm going to buy this game. Yes. Am I going to pay $70? Yes, I am. Okay. And they know that, and that's why they're doing this shit. So they definitely had butter, in the warehouses being worked on and waiting for May, for this to happen. Okay. I think May 12th is when the Zelda game comes out. So yeah, their butter is ready. You can even see, if you turn it to the side, you can see Link on the front cover waving at you, on the cover of the tub of butter. So they're going to use it, and it's going to be a mass, usage across all fucking, all over the world. If I'm being honest here, everybody's, cornhole will be, laced with butter, and they're going to use it on everyone. Okay, everyone's garments will be removed. Everyone will be hit over the head with a foreign object, and everyone will wake up sore in that area because Nintendo is going to put in work. Okay, and there'll be hickeys on the back of people's necks. There'll be all these things. Okay, and everybody will wake up $70 poorer. Okay. And they know what they're gonna entice us with these titles, the ones we really, really want. They're gonna do it with Metroid Prime 4, all of this stuff. Like I said, they're telling us to our faces that they're going to do this. Okay, and most of us are going to buy it. All right, there may be a few of us that say, "Oh no, fuck it, I'm not doing it, or whatever. I have a chastity belt on, you can't touch me there." But most people are going to do it, or Nintendo's going to break out that key. The closer it gets to that release date, some of those same people talking about, "Oh, you're not going to touch me there," that key is going to magically appear and all of a sudden be used on that chastity belt, and that chastity belt comes off, and next thing you know, that is another victim of Nintendo's new butter. Okay, I'm just keeping it real, and you have to be real with yourself, and it is what it is. Okay, they've been having $60 games for the longest, and now they want to raise it to $10 more, and it is what it is. They've always been known for overpricing games, their cartridge-based games, for even their fucking digital games. Okay, they're still. I mean, I'm like, you're charging the same for digital that you are for physical. To me, doesn't make sense. In any aspect of I feel that any company should charge a little less for digital than physical. Okay. And if we're really deep diving into this, I mean, we can go on and on about, what even that means now in today's age, because physicals mean shit now, especially when we're talking about, well, not Nintendo, I'll exclude them from this, but I'm talking about Sony and Microsoft, guys. I mean, they only literally put, 15, 20 megabytes on discs now, they're placeholders. That's all it is now. Most of the game is going to be digital anyway. So CDs have been dead, in my personal opinion, when you stop being able to fit the whole game on the fucking disc. And this has been going on for years. So, as physical collectors, I try to be one myself and claim to be, and I like my physical games. But yeah, man, let's keep it real with each other, guys. If the internet goes down and you try to play any of these fucking games, and you don't have them downloaded to your system, you're fucked. I mean, you're not going to play them. There's no way you can access it. So I'm just being honest here. Okay. That's the world we live in now. But anyway, let's get back to this list. I just left off with Tales of Symphonia, which is definitely going to be a nice addition for a lot of you RPG guys out there. Next game on this list is Have a Nice Death, which looked awesome. Looks pretty awesome. I saw some gameplay on this. This one looks really fun. This is slated for March 22nd. So be looking out for that one. Also, Fire Emblem Engage. We already have pack number 2 out. It's an expansion pass. It's out now. So you can go ahead and grab that. I don't know what all entails. I don't know what all that comes with, but yeah, it's a great thing. I haven't played Fire Emblem Engage yet. I eventually want to get to that game, guys, because I am very curious and I heard nothing but great things about it. But that's going to be a title that I fucking pick up. I'm just being honest, a while from now, because there's just so many things on my plate game wise and so many things coming up that I'm not going to have time to do this shit, guys. And I'm going to get real busy here very soon. So, finding time for all these games, they're going to be pretty hard. I'm just being honest. Next game on this list, Xenoblade Chronicles 3. They have an expansion out, and it's coming out February 16th. So be looking out for that. That's also another great title, another first party title for Nintendo, and people love it. This is a huge fucking RPG. Okay, so you can sink hours and hours and hours into this one too. So Nintendo does have they have their hits. They have shit that actually slaps, and I'm telling you, like, you can't really go wrong with any system technically from a technical aspect. It depends on the IPs. And Nintendo's never been known for graphics. They've never been known for that over the top stuff, and they don't have to be. They just make great IPs and fun games that people love to play, and that's why they're so beloved out here. So it is what it is. Next, we're talking about Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe. Okay, there's a demo for this out now as well, so definitely go ahead and download that and tell me how you feel. And then there's Pikmin 4, which is a lot of Pikmin fans. If there's 4 Pikmin games, then you already know the game can't be terrible. There's 4 fucking games. Okay, so that one's been announced. I don't have any other information on that one, but it's coming. And then the next one here, I put a star by this one, guys, because I just put a star on this one because it needed to be, and a star needed to be written beside this one, because this was the stealth drop of the show. And I'm talking about Metroid Prime. Okay, Metroid Prime got stealth dropped, and it's available right fucking now. Okay, it's available right now on the store. You can download it, and if you're worried about a physical copy, don't fret, because February 22nd they will be available in stores. So there you have it. There's their stealth drop right there. Everybody was begging for a Metroid Prime remaster. Really, what most people really wanted was all of them, okay, remastered into some sort of package, and we didn't get that, but we got a partial gift, and we got the very first one, which a lot of people claim is the best one, and it's here, man. If you want physical, you can get that too if you don't mind waiting. The only thing with this is the price. It's $40. Okay. Now, to me, that's a little too much. Now, I was thinking if they were going to do something like this was just me, assuming something, but I thought they were going to drop all the games, the trilogy. Okay. And I thought, it was going to be $60 game, for all 3 games, 20 a piece. You got your trilogy. Boom. You're in the door. But no, they decided to give us one and charge us $40 for that. Now, I don't agree with that price. I think that's a little too OP of a price. I was thinking $20, $19.99, even $24.99. Okay. But anything above that, I don't see it, man. I mean, this game is being emulated all over the place. It's actually on the Retro Pocket 3 Plus and beyond. But there's nothing like an original game remastered and with updated controls, which this game does have, and all of that. So I definitely will get to play this eventually. But $40 right now, man, I'm going to chill. I'm going to wait because, like I said, there's still so many things on the table. I'm just taken aback though by, this thing. Because honestly, guys, I didn't know if it was going to happen. Nintendo is, if you ask me, if I'm being honest, I think they're bird feeding us a little bit with these classic games. I really do. I think they're doing that a little bit here, and they're going to milk the system and try to get all they can out of us. And you can't really blame them for that, because technically that's their job. I mean, their job is to make money and all of that. So, you can complain, you can do this and do that, but you have the choice not to buy or buy. And if you want to play bad enough, you will pay. And that's all going to be proven when this Metroid comes out. It's all going to be proven when this Zelda game comes out. Everybody's going to pay those inflated prices. You know it. And Nintendo is also known for never really dropping prices. So get used to those $70 games never really coming down, especially those first party games, those super first party games like the Zeldas, the Marios, and games like that. Those games very rarely, and I mean rarely, go on sale, and they stay usually at their prices. Okay. Years later, it could be 5 years later, that game will only go down $10. Okay. Because they're cartridge based, and Nintendo explained that they're expensive to make. They're more expensive to make. And that's just what it is. Now I hope for this Zelda game, they're able to fit it all on one cartridge. Their cartridge limitation is 32 gigabytes. And Nintendo has also been known to take the cheap way out for a lot of their games, not their first party titles usually, but for a lot of other games on their cartridges, on their physical copies. What they will do is they will put half of the game on the fucking disc, and they would cheap out and go with a 16 gigabyte cartridge instead of a 32 or whatever to save money and cut corners. And then you'd have to literally download the game. Now, when it comes to cartridge based games, it makes no sense for me to buy a physical game if I have to download, and I will not do that. I will never buy a physical Nintendo game. Okay. If it is split between the cartridge and I would have to go download some shit. Only patches should be downloaded, okay? And that is it. And it should be small, okay? But there's more than enough room on most Nintendo games for them to put everything on the cartridge and for them not to take the cheap way out, in my humble opinion. So that's where I stand on that. Like I said, I have a love-hate relationship with Nintendo. All my OG listeners know this. I've talked about it on many occasions. A lot of things I love about them. There's a lot of things I hate about them. Okay. And that's just what it is. With Nintendo, you're never going to be 100% satisfied. They're just not going to, it's just not the way it works, man. They do a lot of weird shit sometimes. And that's just what it is. You have to be, I guess, thankful that they are starting to listen somewhat and put out some of these games like the Metroid stuff. And that's, like I said, that's really good. If we got this one, we should definitely get the other two soon. I'm assuming we should get them remastered as well. And like I said, I got Nintendo putting out both the other games remastered, but I also have them later on putting them all together and selling them as a trio as well. So, and probably right after everyone has bought the third game separately. That's just what they do. They put out systems like that. I remember buying the Nintendo 3DS, the DX, I think it was. Yeah. Buying that one. And I think mine was like Nintendo themed. And like maybe 6 weeks after, they came out with the new one, the one with the fucking little analog, the baby eraser analog thing on it, or whatever. I forgot the name of that shit. But yeah, they do shit like that. And yeah, that's how Nintendo rolls, man. You know what I mean? So just get used to it if you're not. But I thought that stealth drop was awesome. Then we get the Zelda Tears of the Kingdom trailer. And I was a little disappointed because I thought we were going to get more gameplay on that. Maybe I was hoping that we get something like a Nintendo, play Clubhouse or Nintendo. I forgot the name, what they call it. I think it's Clubhouse, either Playhouse or Clubhouse, where they, after their shows or directs, usually they go in and they give us some extensive gameplay and some commentary about, different games that were just shown. And we didn't get anything like that, but we got a decent trailer. We got to see a few things that the game entails, and it got people's beaks wet. It got people excited. And that's what they wanted to do. They wanted to give us just a taste, just to whet our appetite. And I hope that, May's not too far away. I hope we get something like that before the game drops. And if they're smart, they're going to do something like that because, they want to get everybody enticed. They want to get everybody ready to get this game. And I think we have more information coming on this as time progresses, as we get closer to the release date of this game. But they gave us enough just to get excited about. And of course, I think pre-orders are up now as well on this game. I would love to have a demo, but, it is what it is. There's only one question I really want answered about this game. Are the weapons going to break? That's all I want to know. Do I have to farm a shit ton of weapons over and over again? And, that's my only pet peeve with the first game. That is it. I find a weapon. I want to keep my weapon. I don't want to worry about having to find another fucking weapon or it breaking on me and I have to pull out another weapon when I'm fighting a boss or some shit like that. That's just me. But we can't deny the classic that Breath of the Wild is. And I'm assuming that this one is going to follow suit. So whether they fix that or not, okay, I'm just being honest. But yeah, that was pretty much the show. And there's one last thing that, really got people excited on this show finally, and that Nintendo is starting to do for the Switch. And they finally announced Game Boy and Game Boy Advance on the online service. Okay, so they're now starting to add more games from these libraries. Okay, on here we have Nintendo, we have some Super NES games, even a couple of Nintendo 64 games, but now they're adding Game Boy and Game Boy Color and Game Boy Advanced games to this library. Now, I stated earlier, beginning of the show, that depending on how you wanted to look at things, what subscription service would be best for you. And I mean, when Nintendo now is starting to look a little bit better. And the good thing with Nintendo is whatever you come into this, whether it's today or whether it's a year from now, and you pay a little fee, I think it's like $3 to $5, I can't remember, a month for the service, you get all access to all the games. Okay, they're all first party games. You don't have to worry about them leaving or anything like that. They're going to be there. So if you pay for their subscription now or later, you get whatever's available to you to play now. Now, does it appeal to me right now? No, it's still fresh. There's still games that need to be divvied out. And once that library gets a little thicker, then that's when I may consider going back and saying, all right, you know what? Cool. Let's go back and, we can grab these games, optimize for, playing on a big screen if you want to. I mean, imagine playing Game Boy Advance games on a big screen if you want. I mean, or just handheld. I mean, whatever, you know what I mean? And, it's a slippery slope when I'm, in my opinion, personally, only because, like I said, guys, I have the Retroid Pocket 3 Plus, and I have pretty much any and every Game Boy game I want, Game Boy Advance game I want, all those games, Nintendo 64, so on and so forth, all on this thing. So that's how I play my games on this. And if I wanted to play it on big screen, guess what? HDMI'd up, baby. We're playing on the big screen. So it just depends. If you're not into the retro gaming stuff, or if you're not into like the third party devices and stuff like that, which a lot of people are not, that's cool. And you want to go this route, this is cool. I mean, you pay, $5 to $6, I think it is. And there you go. You have these games, but you have to wait. They're not going to put out everything you want. I mean, the libraries on these titles are crazy. Like the Game Boy Advance libraries is crazy, man. And they're not going to have everything on here. Okay. At one time, it's going to take time to get these games. And even then, I don't think they're going to have everything here, the whole complete library. I'm not sure that's going to happen because we're talking about publishing. We're talking about, certain things that, Nintendo would have to go out and find these publishers and pay them. And there's a lot of things that have to be dealt with if they're going to be re-releasing these games, I think. So there's a lot of red tape involved with some of these titles. Actually, a lot of these titles, if I'm being honest. So you're not going to get everything. So it just depends on how, how many games are going to feel good to you before you want to make this move or not. A lot of these games have online capabilities too. No voice chat, of course, but still. And people use Discord for that and even the app, which I dare say. But yeah, there are people out there who actually use it. Get it how you live, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. So if the library is, like I said, more substantial, over the course of the next year or so, it may be worth going and checking that out. And I'm speaking from just me personally. Now, it could, one man's trash is another man's treasure. You could love everything now about that and be ready to push it in now and do it. And it's cool. And, some people will say, well, $5 a month isn't that bad. I'd gladly pay that to play the games I'm playing now and, do that, And the reason why I quit my service, honestly, is because the only reason I even had their service was I was for Monster Hunter. When Monster Hunter came out, I had it, and I literally forgot, to be honest with you. I really forgot about it after I stopped playing Monster Hunter, and I just had to go back and say, you know what? I've been paying this for no reason. I haven't used this shit in months. I'm going to go ahead and stop this. And I have no reason to play it online right now. So that's why I cut my service with them, and, it's all good. Maybe later, like I said, when this library gets nice and fattened up, I will return. But that's a good thing to look forward to, though. What games are going to be coming? These systems are out, so they're going to give it to us. I just really think that Nintendo could have easily did what they did with the past consoles and had these games up on the eShop for people to buy if they wanted to buy them, or pay a subscription service or both for the fans. I just don't know why they went another direction with the Switch. They definitely took some weird turns. And now they're kind of bird feeding us, like I said before, these games, because they really, let's be real with you, the system has been out for a while. It's almost, people are noticing, look, it's getting close. It's time for a new piece of hardware, guys. And Nintendo's reaching in their bag, deep down in their bag, and they're pulling out shit that, I felt a lot of should have had earlier on. But it's been so long that we feel grateful for getting it now, even though it's something that we should have fucking had before. So it's almost like our minds are being tricked. It's almost like a pimp slapping his hoe. And after he slaps the shit out of her, he goes and gets her some ice and puts ice on her face. Okay, she's so grateful that he is tending to her wounds that she doesn't see or doesn't realize he just slapped the shit out of her. Okay, that's kind of like an analogy I could use with the Nintendo, but it is what it is, and I guess I'll leave it at that, man. I mean, I'll leave it to your own devices, your own decisions to make. And as gamers, that's what we have to do. We have to find what works best for us. And there's no right answer or wrong answer. There's no in-betweens. They're just what's good for you. And that's all that matters, if I'm being honest, at the end of the day. That was Nintendo's fucking show. It was great. It was considered a success. And yeah, man, let's get onto this last piece of the puzzle. And I'm talking about Hogwarts Legacy. There's a lot of controversy around this game. There's a lot of shit that's been going on when you bring this game's name up. And, not all of it's good, man. And to be honest, if you're asking me, I mean, I'm not going to get all political and shit here, but I have to say it's unwarranted, in my opinion. Okay, it's unwarranted. And I only say that because I just dug into it a little bit more and just try to figure out like what was all the fuss about. And I spoke on this a little bit before, guys, a week or two ago, and, about this transgender fiasco that's going on here. It's really strange to me how people pick and choose their battles a lot of the time. There's people who literally are just going out and headhunting. Okay, they're going after streamers. They made a website, okay, dedicated to finding everyone who's ever streamed this game and blasting them. Okay, even though it got shut down like a day later, the shit didn't last 24 hours, I don't think, because they were violating people's privacy. They were willing to violate people's privacy in order to get some point across or to achieve some agenda that, in my personal opinion, makes no fucking sense, even to this day. I looked up the J.K. Rowling's posts and what she was saying about, quote unquote, the transgender community. And I'm trying to still figure out what was said that was wrong. I mean, I really am. I mean, I posted, if you guys don't believe me, go check out my Twitter. Okay. And I posted it. I mean, what she literally said. And I'm like, I'm trying to find what she said that was insulting or that was degrading or whatever. I'm thinking the way people were talking, that she was like, yo, transgender people are trash. They suck. I thought she was going in on them, the way they said it. But I'm reading shit like, oh, I stand with the community and I would walk with them and fight for them. And all. I'm like, what? They didn't put this shit in there? It's like they went and found a few sentences or a few words in like mashed them together and made it seem like, I don't know, man. I'm just dumbfounded at this. And I think that's why most people said, you know what, I'm playing this game. Fuck it. You know what I mean? And this is like the highest, I think, pre-ordered game. I went to fucking GameStop to pre-order this game, and they told me, they laughed at me. They said, no, you can't pre-order this. I said, what about another location? No, there's no location around here that has this for pre-order right now. You can't get it. I said, what? I was like, okay, right then it just, something told me, okay, this is something different. I've never experienced this before. I guess these Harry Potter fans are rabid as fuck. Okay. And apparently so, because I mean, I guess they are, man. I was talking to a friend and he said, my sister's a huge fan and I'm wondering if they got this game. I haven't talked to her in a couple weeks. I wonder if they got this game. And you know what? I'm going to go check. I'm going to text her and send her a text and see what she says. And then he sends me the text, the image that she sent him, which was her husband with the headphones, looking at the TV, all the lights out, playing this game. And I couldn't control myself. I fell out laughing. But yeah, man, it's crazy. It's definitely crazy how this is, this phenomenon has taken flight. Everybody is playing this, man. I'm having a blast with this game. I know nothing about the lore, the world. And to me, it's an open world RPG. It's an open world RPG about wizardry. That's what it is to me. That's how I looked at it. That's what all the previews I saw and all that. That's all I saw. I don't know the terminology. I don't know all of these things. I do know it takes place like 1,000 years before the events of Harry Potter. I know that. And that's about it. The game is so good. I actually started watching Harry Potter, watched the first movie, and it was pretty good. I have to admit. I will say that they did him. I didn't like the way they did that kid, man, at the very beginning of the movie, man. His relatives, his aunt and all that, they shit on him. And I was like, yeah, that's crazy. But yeah, the fucking movie was great. Looking forward to the rest of them. All I can say is if you're on the fence about getting this game, I mean, there's no question about getting it. If you're into RPGs, open world action RPGs and things of that nature, there's no doubt in my mind that you should play this. It's a no-brainer. I want to finish playing it. Like I'm like still early in the game, but if I had to give it a score right now, like if I had to stop playing it right now, this game is easily a 9.5-ish for me. Okay. Out of 10. It's that good. It's that good. I'm enjoying this more than I enjoyed, believe it or not, the last God of War game. And I was trying to measure it up and I told my friend that, and he was like, really? I said, yeah, man. I said, I'm really enjoying this game. And there's a lot of things that, make me say that because I am, if you guys know me, especially my OG listeners, I am a sucker for customization. I love when a game lets you customize things. It's an added layer of beauty in video games because you're making your own stamp on everything. And this game gives you that. You can create your own character, of course, give him a name, whatever you want to call him, whatever. And then the drip is unreal. Okay. The drip possibilities, all the things you can wear, all the things you can collect. It's got a transmog system in there, so you don't have to worry about any of that. So for instance, let me give you an example. Say that you have first of all, let me say this. You have a limited space. You have limited space for your gear. So if you find hats, if you find, masks or glasses or, new jackets and things of that nature, you have limited space for that. So it gets filled up pretty quick. And if you're worried about, I got this gear and, I can put this on and wear this, but what else can I do? Because what if I wanted to wear something else? Or what if I want to wear this or that? The cool thing about this system is if you discover an item, if you find a hat in a treasure chest, or if you find a jacket in a treasure chest, those jackets or the hats, whatever you come across, they're forever placed in your transmog system. So you can always wear that. So if you like a look of something, you can always wear that. If you find a hat that you really like, but the stats are trash, but you just like the way the hat looks, you can put on all the best gear that gives you the best benefits, like all the highest defenses and all of that. And then you can go back in there and say, okay, well, I look silly as hell with all this different shit on. I look like, a mismatching and all this. But then you can go back in and put on the hat you want or the jacket you want, or say you don't want to wear a jacket, you don't have to wear a jacket, or say you don't want to wear none of your shit, you can just wear like undergarments. You can do that as well. So you can look how you want to look and still get the benefits of your buffs from that gear. And anything you discover, any clothing that you discover, any scarf you discover, all these things are accessible now from here on out. They go right into that library. So you can put together anything you want, and it's awesome. And then they even also have separate outfits that you get for doing certain things throughout the game. And once you complete certain passive tasks, you unlock new pieces of gear, like whole pieces of gear, like whole suits and things of that nature. And there's some awesome ones in there as well. So there's a lot of that in there. And that's really kind of, it piqued my interest alone with that, just the customization. But all the things in this world, and this is coming from somebody, you got to remember, that knows nothing about Harry Potter. These are just RPG. Like this game was born to be an RPG. I mean, this game, this franchise, all the things you do here, there's so much to do. Okay. You have classes. Okay. And you learn how to do things in class. You learn new spells. Then your teacher will give you assignments, and they tell you, okay, do these assignments. And after you complete those assignments, come back and I will teach you a new spell. And so it's like you're being rewarded all the time. If there's a spell you really like, yo, I need this. I want this spell. So you're going to go and you're going to figure out how to get those assignments done so you can go back and get that stuff. You know what I mean? And the combo system with this, I mean, the combat is one of the funnest things I've played in a while, man. I never thought that the way that the combo was and the way that the fighting was done in this game could be entertaining if you're dealing with like a small magic wand. And I was so wrong with that. Whoever designed the combat in this game, give them the world, give them whatever they fucking want. Okay. Because they killed it. And the potions, the things you need to learn, like I have this room that I have in the mansion. Okay. So it's hidden room. Okay. That only I can access. And I'm in there and I can set up all these different tables and set up these potions. So say I want to make some health potions. Okay. I can set up a table and make that, but I can do multiple tables. So if I want, I need more potions. I need them a little bit faster. Okay. I'll set up 3 or 4 tables and I'll make 3 or 4 potions at one time. Okay. Different plants you can grow that give you different benefits. So when you're out in the world, you're collecting things, you come back here. If there's something you don't have that you can't find out there in the world, you can go to the shops, you can buy them, and then you can buy recipes so you don't have to keep going back there and learn how to make these things and then grow them yourself. It's just dope. It's a dope game. I mean, they've got all kinds of different variety in here, man. And the broom flying. I mean, yo, I got my broom. I'm out here rolling around, flying around the world. It's beautiful, man. It's beautiful. Like I said, man, if you're into wizardry and you're into like all of that type of stuff and you know nothing about Harry Potter and you just want to be a badass wizard, yo, this game here is for you. If you just want an awesome RPG and you just want something different with a lot of personality and swag, this is it. I'm telling you. And the story is awesome as well so far. Yeah, man. And it intrigued me enough to want to go see what the fuss was about and watch the movies. Like, it's crazy how crazy this world is, how beautiful it is and whimsical. It's crazy, man. I'm kind of mad that I haven't seen the Harry Potter stuff because I can't walk by and say, oh shit, they got this in here or that in here. I mean, there's these statues, there's all kinds of different lore and things on different pieces that you see. It's crazy, man. I'm really enjoying myself. That's all I can tell you. And I think that you will as well. It's broken all kinds of records, Steam and everywhere else in between, and deservedly so. I knew the game was going to be good, but I didn't know it was going to be great. I didn't know it was going to be this fucking good. I didn't know it was going to grab me like it's grabbing me now. And I'm a person who I kind of rushed a little bit through God of War. You know, I took my time, but I rushed it a little bit. You know, I wanted to get to that story, the end I wanted to see. But this game here, man, it's like, yo, just let it burn. Let it slow burn. Take your time. And I've been doing that. I haven't been rushing. If I'm sleepy and I'm like, I'm going to take a nap. I'm not going to, I want to get, this done. No, I'm going to come back and I'm going to take my time. And next I'm going to go do this assignment and this and this and that. And that's how I feel about this game. Somebody was saying that, I can't remember who it was, but they were saying, yo, they put 80 hours on this game already. And I'm like, yeah, I could see that. I could definitely see that. I don't understand these reviewers sometimes. These people who get the access to, well, I kind of understand, but these motherfuckers are putting in like 40 or 50 hours in the game. And I'm like, yo, there's no way you played this for 40 hours and got everything out of this game. There's no fucking way. And you have to also be mindful of what these guys do. They get these games early. Okay. They have to put out content on this stuff early. They have to be some of the first people to do it and get their work done. So they have to rush through the game a lot of the time. They don't have that luxury of sitting there and really being able to lick the barbecue sauce off your fingers and enjoy this shit. Okay. They don't have that luxury. I couldn't be that guy. If I was ever going to review a game, I'm doing it on my own time. I'm not rushing shit, and it is what it is. And that's how I'm looking at it and taking this game in. This game could probably be 100 hours, and I can definitely see it. All the assignments, all the fucking side quests that I've already got on my plate, and maps and treasure hunts and all these fucking things that are coming up now. It's crazy, man. And the dark arts, which is, forbidden art that, they don't want their students to study and know. They frown down upon that stuff. That's something I want to learn, and I am going to pursue, and all of that, man. The only drawback on this game that I would say that I've seen thus far would really have to be, there's no morality system in this. You're not going to be able to just go completely evil and conquer the world and shit like that. Okay. The way the story is written, it seems as though there's a certain outcome and you can do fucked up things, but they'll only be frowned upon. They won't be, it won't be super consequences behind them and all of that. That's really the only thing that isn't in this game. So, but you got to believe that they're going to be putting out another one. And I'm figuring that the next one could be something like, okay, yeah, this one is going to be different. You can really take a path and you know what I mean? Like they're going to make that better. I think that portion of it better. But from what I've played so far, from the systems, from the battles and all these things, I mean, I'm fucking loving it, man. I was in this area and, I was cleaning up the block, so to speak, is what I call it when I'm running through enemies. And I got attacked. It's like these stealth wizards, man. They came in out of nowhere. They started summoning fucking zombies and shit and, using defensive buffs and all this crazy shit. And they were surrounding me. And I was like, yo, this is crazy. They trying to take me out in here in these fucking Harry Potter streets. And I was just, I was just amazed. You know what I mean? It was just like, yeah, something new. It's definitely something different, man. And, I'm here for it, man. I am. And I can't wait to get back to it. So if this is a baby review, then I'm telling you guys to go buy this shit. I'm not, no hesitation, not wait for a sale, none of that bullshit. Go buy this now. I couldn't wait. And I ended up buying the deluxe edition. Okay. So I could play a little bit early and, I'm not sorry about it at all. And I bought the digital version, which that is something I'm a little sorry, but I was trying to get physical, but I couldn't find it. I could not find it. So I was not going to take the chance on ordering it and not being able to play it, at midnight. I wanted to jump right in. And sometimes, it is what it is. It's just like that. But this game, when it drops to like $20 and it's on the bargain bin, yeah, I'll pick it up physical just so I can have it. You know what I mean? And that won't take long. It may be 6 months or so where you can find it on eBay for somebody and they're selling it for $20. And that's cool. And that's probably what I'll do. But yeah, it's that good, guys. I'm telling you right now, I'm already thinking about DLC possibilities and things of that nature. What's coming after that? Who knows? But right now, as it stands, this game is awesome. This game is the shit. I'm still way early in the game. I'm taking my time, like I said, but I love what I've seen so far. And I mean, what else can I say about the combat? I mean, it's not just about, combat with your wand. I mean, you can spec into other things like plants, herbology and stuff like that. And you can make there's this thing called a cabbage. I think there's some sort of cabbage, man. Okay. And you throw it on the fucking ground and it's like a piranha out of water. It immediately goes after your opponent, your enemy, and it starts chopping the shit out of them. Okay. Until they drop. I mean, they're relentless. Okay. And there's a perk in here where, if you activate it, if you throw out one, you automatically throw another one out free of charge. This thing is deadly, man. You throw a couple of those out there, I mean, they are going crazy. And then you can do multiple things at once. There's this thing called Thunder Brew, where you fucking drink this shit, okay, and all of a sudden the clouds will appear everywhere and lightning will just start striking your enemies. Okay, so just imagine throwing those down on the ground, lighting that up. Then there's this thing called a mandrake, okay, where it's like this little munchkin. It looks like a potato with arms and legs, okay, and you pull it out, and when you pull it out of the pot, it fucking screams. It's so loud, like where it's deafening, and it hurts your opponents, and it freezes them in place, covering their ears, and they're stuck in this kind of phased, state, and you can do whatever you want with them. I mean, and you can grow these things. Okay. Like, oh, I need more. Well, you have to make them and brew them and grow them in your shop or whatever. So I've grown as much as I can take, like 12, I think is the max. So I mean, it's crazy, man. Like, and you can do all these things. You don't even have to fucking lift your wand. You can do all this first and kill so there's different ways to skin a cat, and different combinations and stuff like that. I just feel that this is really, really an awesome game. And like I said, this is coming from a fan or somebody who's never been a fan, who doesn't know anything about this world. So I think all this shit is cool. And now that's what intrigued me to actually go in and watch the fucking movies. I'm like, yo, this is really innovative. All of this stuff, man, this world, this universe, So I see what the fandom is looking at. I see what they love. I see the reason why everybody was just so crazy over this game, and it's going to break fucking records. So could it be a game of the year candidate? Yes, it can. I know we're early in the year. I know there's still a lot of things coming out. Me personally, I'm really, really anticipating this Atomic Heart game right now. I really want to play this. It's just got BioShock vibes all day, all over it. There's a new Monster Hunter game. I think Wild Hearts. There's a lot of stuff coming out, and that's just the month of February. We're not even talking about beyond that. You got Breath of the Wild, of course. So there's a lot of games still to be played, but this is definitely going to be up there on my radar. This is definitely going to be one of those games. So that's where I stand on it. Go play this game. All right. And I'll end the show with that. I want to thank everybody for listening, downloading, streaming the show. I want to thank everybody for your support, all the OG listeners, everybody that's new, that's discovered this podcast. Hey, I'm so appreciative. I'm so grateful that you guys have found this show, and I hope that you stick around. We do this every week, every Monday, same bad time, same bad channel. So definitely keep an eye out for us and download the show every week. Also, if you want to show a little bit more appreciation or more love, I'm not going to argue with you if you want to do that, but you can, and you can definitely go on my social media platforms. You can check out the YouTube channel at Random Gameplay Pimpin' there. You can check out the TikTok at Random Gameplay Pimpin' there. Go ahead and subscribe there and show your love, man. Also, my Dragon Ball fans, all my Dragon Ball fans, I can't forget about you. Definitely check out DragonBallDrip.com and go check that out. Go ahead and pick yourself up some merch, get a hoodie, get a t-shirt, something. We got more stuff coming down on the horizon. Also check out the TikTok, baby. The Dragon Ball Drip TikTok is doing pretty well. I hope to have 1,000 subs by the end of this month. That's where we're going now. We're approaching 700 now, like 25,000 likes, man. So it's growing steady, slowly but steady. You know what I mean? So I'm hoping to grow that community. I also have another community coming very soon. It's going to be called Anime Campfire, guys. Be looking out for that on TikTok. Be looking out for that on Instagram and all those things too. I'm going to have merch. There's going to be a store so you can get your anime love thing on over there. So yeah, man, got a lot of things in the works. Okay. And Random Gameplay Pimpin' as well. You got to definitely check out the store, which is coming soon as well. So there are going to be a lot of merch just revolving around video games and, classic games and certain inside jokes and things like that only gamers will understand and be able to find out about, so definitely look out for all that, guys. I'm going to keep you posted. But yeah, just show your love. I'm available. I'm out here in these streets, and I'll see you guys next week. I love you very much. This is your boy, Studio MacGyver, and you have been listening to Random Gameplay Pimpin'. See you next time.